Hello everyone, my name is Muzame Putra. So for this subject ELC 590, this week's task is to um, it's more like to give a prelude about what we will do for our upcoming informative speech assignment, right? So in this video, we are asked to do um, the introduction and the first main point of our chosen topic. So my chosen topic is utilitarianism explained. So I will begin with the definition as it should. Utilitarianism is an ethical theory that maximizes happiness and well-being for all affected individuals. So what I'm trying to say is this ethical theory, it answers to the question of what a person ought to do. So according to this philosophy, what a person ought to do is to give happiness as much as possible. So the more benefit you give to people, um, the greater your moral is. So that is the basic thing that you need to understand about utilitarianism. Okay, about my first point, I will talk about the criteria of utilitarianism. So for this first point, I will talk about the four criteria of utilitarianism. So the first one is this ethical theory is based on hedonistic approach because as we all know, hedonistic it desire happiness as the final outcome. For example, when we think about it, everything that we do, the final outcome that we desire is usually happiness. No matter what decision that we make, the final outcome that we want is to be happy. You know, why do we study? So that we can get good grades. And why do we get good grades? So that we can get a good job. Why do we get a good job? So that we can get money and buy everything that we want. Why do we need to buy everything that we want? So that because we think that it would make us happy. So that would be the first criteria of utilitarianism. And the second one is according to this ethical theory, utilitarianism, the consequences of your decision define what's good or what's bad. Um, for example, let's say that there is a person, his name is Ben, and he's trying to save someone else's life. So in order to do that, he needs to do a CPR. But the thing is, he is not familiar with the proper and safe CPR technique. So when he was trying to save a victim's life, he ended up breaking the victim's rib, making the situation so much worse. Um, According to Ben's motive, his motive is to save someone else's life. However, the consequences are bad. Um, Broken ribs and making it harder for the victim to breathe. So, according to utilitarianism, what Ben did was a bad thing because the consequences are bad. Um, there is another philosophical ethic that would agree with what Ben just did. Um, that theory is called. I'm sorry, I forgot what it's called. It's called Kantians. Kantians is a ethical theory that focuses more on the motive instead of consequences. However, that is a discussion for another day. We need to focus about utilitarianism. Mm. Okay, so that would be the second one. And the third criteria of utilitarianism is that emotions doesn't play a huge role. Mm, Although, like I said before, the final outcomes that utilitarianism wanted to achieve is happiness, which is an emotion. But however, when it comes to making decision, emotions don't play a huge role on it. Just like what I just said with the ban situation, most people would think that what Ben did was not wrong, because his motive is to save someone's life. However, according to utilitarianism, what he did was wrong, even though it feels hard to admit that what he did was wrong. Because according to utilitarianism, you really need to focus on the more benefits that you need to give to people. I think I should give another example. Okay, let's say that there are 5 patients, and the first 4 patients, they need 1 vial of medicine to be cured. However, the fifth patient, he needs 5 vials of medicine to be cured. And let's say that you have 5 vials of medicine on your hand. So according to utilitarianism, you should save this 4 person, because all 4 of them only needs 1 vial each to survive, and the fifth one, he needs 5 vials to survive. So after you make that decision, the final patient would die, but 4 person will be saved. So according to utilitarianism, it is a good thing to do, because 4 lives being saved is so much better than 4 lives to be killed to save 1 person, you know. So when we are making this type of decision, regardless of who the the last patient is, you need to consider about the most benefit that you can give to most people. That is basically what utilitarianism is all about. So that will be the third one. And the fourth criteria of utilitarianism is that it is not an egoistic approach to solve a problem, because I just said that we don't require a lot of emotion to make a decision when it comes to utilitarianism, which is not entirely true, which is not entirely egoistic thing to do. Because when it comes to egoistic, we only think about our stuff. How would it benefit us? How would it benefit me as a decision maker? However, when it comes to utilitarianism, it's everyone should be concerned. You need to focus on the decision that could benefit people the most. So that would be my first point of um, my informative speech, which is all about utilitarianism. So, considering that this presentation is an informative speech, I will not include my personal opinion. Instead, I would give different situations, to which different situation to make people understand how utilitarianism work. I could also show excerpts from movie, from iconic scenes from movie, so that everyone can understand where the scenes applied the ethics of utilitarianism. I guess that would conclude my presentation for this week. I think that I will see um, you guys next time, when I will be doing my next weekly task for this subject. Thank you so much for watching.